Hi, Benzo. I am not prepared. Oh, well. Prepared for what? What am I supposed to be prepared? The day? Get ready. Are you ready?
The glasses.
I've been up since 5:30.
God.
I ate a cookie at 6.
I bet you're tired.
And then I just ate another one about an hour ago. Took a nice hot shower.
Oh, that felt good, I bet.
Yeah, I got to cover the window.
That looks nice.
My window cover. Make sure everybody knows my window cover is the flag of the once known United States of America is now falling. And how many people don't even recognize that it's even happening? Because working hard or hardly working. You going to the big game? You going to watch the big game this weekend? You going to go sit in the audience and spend thousands of dollars on Taylor Swift? You can go ski down that mountain. You can go do all these other things while the nation that has only existed for less than 250 years is flushing down the toilet. All on everybody's watch, mine included. Mine included. My watch too. It happened right under my nose because you know what? I started delving into my own world. The world of self.
The world, that's an interesting name.
And in that delving in that world, I found that I am much more connected to everyone else around me than I ever wanted to even care to even think was true. I don't want to be related to all of them. I want to be separate. I don't want to be like them. And I am them. And whenever I rage or get annoyed or get frustrated or roll my eyes, I am seeing things in other people, aspects in which I hate in myself. Yet I acknowledge. Other people don't even acknowledge. They don't know that that's happening. They're just like, I hate you. You hate yourself.
They're fighting.
Oh, it's going to get gnarly, dude. I just watched a video. Hey, Jessica, good morning. I just watched a video of a sheriff doing a report on a killing of a dude delivering food. It was his last delivery of the night and became an imprint forever on every person who witnessed and saw what the man that did to this man, he was in his 50s, I guess. But yeah, no, he not only did that, he let the world know that demons exist. That evil lives. And it's on the street, and it doesn't follow the rules, and it doesn't go by policies and regulations, and it doesn't report, and it doesn't do all those things that all of these fearful people are asking just us regular people to go through so they can go, all these hoops to go through so they can get paid and live lavish lifestyles, which creates stress on the lower end. And then people are so stressed out, they're trying to create their escape from their stress. So they're taking drugs, they're drinking, they're trying this, they're trying that, they're fucking this, they're doing that. And it's collectively going to a place where you can't even take care everybody's at risk. Everybody that lives on this planet is at risk, and what they need to find out is the only security that is established in real life is security that you have, that you can handle any situation in life that comes your way. Okay? And people are going to start realizing what kind of planet they're living on in real life, and what their fathers really are, and who their fathers really are, and who their brothers and their uncles and their sisters and who these people have been acting like they are, but they can't hold it up anymore, and they slip up, and they show you, and they see, and they forget what company they're around, and they say, oh, and then people start putting things together, and more truths are revealed, and more, and it's, man, this eclipse in Scuba, I didn't even think about how it's going to affect me. My moon's in Scorpio. It's 24 degrees, so it's one of the latter degrees. Or this one's affecting like 15 to 21. Not me. These aren't my lessons to be learned. I'll still be impacted. Things will happen, but not like people with other placements that are in these specific degrees of the eclipse in Scorpio. So, more truths are going to be revealed. You know, I've been saying it for years. Since 2020 is the year of clear vision. You know, people are going to start seeing how people are. Everybody's going to get closed up. People are going to start seeing, you know, given the freedom to be who people are. So, you know, if people show themselves and prove themselves to be really quite gross. You know, they get lazy, slothful. I'm probably in the best shape of my life. Well, not running wise, cardio wise, but I mean, but it wouldn't take me long to walk a few hills.
Hills.
Yeah, Mom, we live in freaking Arroyo Hondo. There's hills everywhere. And it's supposed to be 70 degrees. I woke up, it snowed this morning.
Oh my God.
Started snowing about 5:30. I put I was my little buddy on the porch. I was like, "You gonna be all right?" I put a towel over him. I said, "I'll warm up, and tomorrow you'll just poof. You'll be okay tomorrow, but we'll make sure you'll be all right." I haven't even taken the other ones out of the tub yet. I'll give them another couple hours. They're like friends to me. Plants are like friends. I'm excited. Tomorrow I'm going to Earth Goods.
What's Earth Goods?
It's a nursery. It's a place where they sell soil and everything you need. Last time I went, I gave the dude that owns the place, I gave him a couple of cookies. So
That was nice.
I'm curious to get his feedback. He said, "Yeah, I gave to him." I said, if you like him, if you're into him, want to try him, I'll give you some." He's like, "Yeah," and I had some in the car, in the truck. So I grabbed him a couple, and that's what I got him for. They're my good karma cookies, you know. And then people, they hear about how they need like he's a collection point where a lot of people that share similar heart space that I do. We might not have the same beliefs, backgrounds. We might not be the same colors, but anybody that likes gardening, you know, and I find out where people's levels are. Well, because I got a vast knowledge of so much stuff, man. My data collection is freaking remarkable, and but people that garden, they take the time to take care of things. That's why junkies don't grow weed. Because they're up all night and they sleep all day. So they're like, "No, man, I ain't going to put the plants out to be with the sun, to be nourished." They don't nourish themselves. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they don't do what it takes to get the, you know, and then you freaking, you love the plant, and the plant knows. I don't know how many garden enthusiasts I have introduced the world of Luther Burbank to. And he's the dude, this guy, he made like 500 different varieties of plants. He created the first thornless rose. And how he did it was by telling the rose bush every day that they didn't need the thorns because they're for defense, and that he would love them and he would protect them so they don't need to protect themselves. And within a year, there was rose bushes that didn't have thorns because it felt the same vibrational frequency as the person taking care of it, you know. And the plant, and then it's like there's all these studies that are done with like the production of flowers and fruit and vegetables when frequencies are involved. I play mine classical music because I like classical music and I like how it makes me feel. So if I like it, let's see, and they pop up. They're happy, right? And then when they grow up to be, if they're females, it's always the crapshoot, because it's always only a 50-50 chance. I know people are so certain of themselves and things that they know. Still, you can't override nature, you know. But so I bring them in every night, and then I put them out in the sun every day, and mostly because I'm scared. I know I shouldn't be afraid that they're gonna get stolen, because if you put that with that ear, you know. But I gotta be cautious because I'm freaking surrounded by junkie scoundrels, and drunks. Drunk junkie scoundrels. You know, people that make a conscious decision every day not to live in integrity and just to live for themselves and make messes for everyone in the world to clean up. It's just annoying. So, hey, Tanya. Hey, Kev, man. Anyway, I made some notes for today. I was thinking about things. And I was thinking, and I've done talks before in the last 6 years. In the last 2,000 or so videos. I've done 2,000, so many videos. So many people would have quit by now. That's the thing, is I got longevity. I got longevity, Ma. I can do things that I don't want to do for a really long fucking time. And I can make some fun out of situations while I'm doing it, you know? I can have some fun while I'm doing it. And so some of the notes I made this morning is like, every time, this is some of the karma that I in which I'm supposed to speak on engagements I was a part of in my role and me clearing my karma the last few years. I was a part of Operation Iraqi Bullshit, and I was there from before it started, the shock and awe, and watching the remnants afterwards. And I would think about, as I'm laying in my hotel bed in a 5-star hotel, in a hotel called the Panorama, look it up on Facebook. I'm blocked. I can't post comments on there anymore. And I didn't even say anything mean. I was just like, hey, the staff was really nice to me when I was there for Operation Iraqi Bullshit. And I thanked them. You know, I got pictures in my photo albums up there with me and the staff. Or actually, they're back there. But, you know, because, you know, I probably won't go back to the island of Crete ever again, stay in a swanky hotel. And I got paid to be there. I got paid extra money to be a part of killing people in places we had no business being in. And not only is the human life that was decimated at my hands. I was flight line support, so I think about, and the B-1 bombers, I gave a pilot a ride to his cockpit. I got to go into the cockpit. I was energetically in the field where a dude was probably getting his rocks off for freaking killing just people that were just like woke up and thinking they're going to live their life that day. But here comes America, boom, boom, boom. And then later watching the video footage of a pilot, not that pilot, probably the chances of that would be really weird. But I did actually, because, you know, in the military, they have their own secured network. So the emails, you think the dark web, I mean, it's like, the videos they pass around, you know, while they're drinking their coffee in the morning of a pilot freaking shooting Iraqi civilians and laughing. I've thrown up. And not just being a part of that, but what those bombs do to Mother Earth. How, whenever those roadside bombs all of those things that harm Mother Earth. And then people pay themselves so much to say that they care when they profited so much from acting like they don't. I have no fancy new $4,000 camera. What? Where's my fancy 4,000? Is that somebody talking to me? I got a Mac. Because my other one died. I teched out of it. I don't know. Maybe that's for something else. I missed out. That's the thing about I can't look at the chat because it throws me off. So, and I got the pictures of all the Humvees. It's hard not to have resentments about every Humvee I see in Taos, and I see them all over with different license plates from all over. And I think about just the heart space and what that came from, and it can all make me so nauseous if I don't have a spiritual practice, and if I don't, you know, have healthy outlets. So we've been tainting the earth with wicked acts for decades, and this is more karma that's coming out in this next period and this next time. It's gonna get real hard for people, and I can't think about. I gotta be present where my hands are, because when I think about how hard it's gonna be, and what other people, good-hearted people, are gonna go through, it's just more of what I've seen in my life, and it's just, you just watch people, and then every now and again you see, I try to be that for people. That's why I hang out with what people in society deem scumbags that don't even don't give the time of day, tell their kids walk past, these are that's my population ratio. That's the bottom. Or spectrum, not ratio. I don't know why I said spectrum. That's the bottom spectrum. And I've hung out with millionaires. They know what they know, and they don't know nothing else. Their spectrum is very small. Like a gymnast, they can do what they can do, their craft. They're amazing. They get stuck in the desert with the flat tire and they can't change it. All those flippy twirls, and they don't got water in their car. They ain't gonna do you nothing. You don't got practical skills in this world. And if you don't take care of your soul sack. And that's great for all those people that have nothing but time and can spend like 2 hours in the gym, 3 hours into the gym on yourself. Like, cause you can because your kids are in school, so somebody else is dealing with your nightmare, cause there's so little discipline in the world, that people are just going around doing whatever they want, saying whatever they not, they don't got no good guidance. They don't got no good orderly direction to go by. They're just wreaking havoc. 100 kids freaking breaking shit in the pricey part of Chicago. It's just rude. It's just rude. And we're going to see more, because people are going to see what they like attracts like, and they're going to see what they can get away with. So we're going to see more of the Uzis of the nasties coming out too, because people are really going to start serving their freaking lower chakras. Chasing sensations. It's gonna be nasty, it's gonna be gross, but more and more people evidently don't get enough verification that this stuff exists. The gate into pizza, all that stuff. I mean, people are gonna deny the existence of things. Oh, that stuff doesn't happen. And then that stuff that happens builds up like a big festering zit and pops all over the planet, and it's going to start happening more. People are freaking animals, and they're gross, and they want power and perversion, and there's less and less discipline. Look around at the population. I mean, like the commercials, things are not... I don't like the way that they're directing humanity merging with technology. As an IT professional, I find people's faith in technology amusing, because their shit ultimately never works. It never works ultimately. Technology will always fail. It's like maintenance. Everything that works will one day not work. Like the human being. Everything has a shelf life. Everything has an expiration life. As much as you can prolong the end life, like in a car, an engine will blow. You can replace the engine, Anyway, I was thinking about synchronicity. I got hit with the synchronicity like right when I got up this morning, and it like kind of was really interesting. Because I thought I got the idea to look up Jessica Hawkins, because that was her married name, to see if there was a Facebook account for her, my sister that died when she was 30 last year, September 23rd, 2022, on a motorcycle accident because she wasn't wearing a helmet. And she rose like the phoenix in Phoenix, Arizona. Where's my phone? Here it is. So this synchronicity. So I looked up Jessica Hawkins on Facebook, which brought me to a person named Jessica Hawkins. And I clicked on it. It wasn't my sister. And yet her first post was for a GoFundMe for a dude named James R. Hooks that died on April 10th because he was killed in a motorcycle accident the day before his 39th birthday. And I was like, all right, that's pretty trippy. Interesting. I think I'll share that this morning. So I pick up on things. And whenever there's a match, it's probably my early childhood programming from playing Go Fish. So whenever there's a match. And I think it's real interesting that, like, recently, the same time I got the bourbon, and I think the hot water heater here went out, right? Which there was a reset, because as soon as they replaced it, there's hot water, their pressure's way better, life is a lot better than and I was just like, I'm just glad we got trickles, but then it would start getting bad, so universe, self-corrects, it does, and I got a good landlady, so she freaking drove to Espanola, freaking hour and a half, 2-hour trip to get a freaking, like, as soon as it went out, and there was a 30-gallon tank in there, and she upgraded, so she got a bigger tank, so she got a 40-gallon tank. And I think it's funny because when I got the bourbon, the guy that I was asking, he was giving me details about it. And he said he's got a 40-gallon tank. And I was like, right on. Right on. I'm one of those, I keep the tank topped off. The heart of, like, watching the numbers go up, so rich people can already get grossly more, like this financial strain, it makes people crazy. When people are under the threat that their Maslow's hierarchy needs are not being met, you know what I mean? Like, it puts them in like, mom would freaking go between short circuit every 2 years, about on clockwork, because I recognize patterns. I was that kind of kid. Autistic, they say. She would stress out to the point that it would put her in a psychosis, and she would, like, have these behaviors, and then for like 2 weeks, and then she'd start coming out of them, and then she wouldn't have any recollection of anything that happened prior to that. Now, she's had a lot of trauma in her life. I mean, I was raped as a 10-month-old baby, and she's the stuff in which God has veiled her from, I'll never forget. I was 16. Oh, well, there's so many things I'll never forget. I was 16, and she had gotten she had a prolapse rectum. She was having a bowel movement, and she always pushed so hard. I always try to get her to relax. That's just not how she's wired. She's got like 5 planets in Sagittarius. Got to make things happen. Captain in your own poop ship. And she pushed so hard, and it freaking about that much of her lower intestines and rectum came out. So I was like, oh God. Get in the car. Now, man, granted, I drive her into the ER, to the hospital, to the emergency room, and she's like sitting sideways. She's in a skirt. She has it like hiked up on a towel, and she's sitting sideways. And so we get there, and the doctor said, yeah, this is common when you see like young kids or older people when they're older in life and they were sodomized at a very young age. And this is coming from a doctor to a 16-year-old girl who this happened to her mother. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So these are the little tidbits that I've been given in life. So whenever I hear situations in life where like, oh yeah, so it doesn't, you don't hear about it very often, but I mean, you'll probably hear about it more because in order for people to start feeling better about stuff, people are going to have to be able to talk about things and not shut that stuff away. See, it's amazing. I think it's the grace of God that at that time they cut out 6 inches of mom's intestines. That time, she had a major brainstem stroke because a guy slammed her head in a car door of a 64 Chevy Biscayne. She has a big old lump on the back of her head, right? She was in the hospital for a week for that. But from this surgery, she was in there for 32 days. 32 days? Yep. About the same time I was on the island of Crete for Operation Iraqi bullshit. About the same time, but she was in the hospital and she had one surgery, and then they said that there were lesions that were starting to form, so they had to go in, and then it was just touch and go. And I was 16, so I'm like 15, 16, so I'm skipping school, and this is around the time that you had your stroke too. Yeah? So I'm in school. CPS, nobody came, no organization, no government office, no counselor, nobody came in. 16 years, nobody came in and said, you're going through a hard time, kid. Come with me. And just, until things get a little. Because it was another beautiful thing, that a grace of God that God has given me is because we lived in Central Valley. I wasn't allowed to drive the car. We had a crappy old Toyota Celica. I wasn't allowed to drive it. And then it was my freshman year in high school. So I was 15 to 16. Anyway, 15 to 16. So I was 15. So I would ride the school bus because the school Nova that I went to no longer exists, was right up the hill, a couple miles from the hospital from where Mom was. So I would go sleep in my bed and then go catch the school bus, go into town, and then skip school, and then go climb in bed and hang out with Mom and watch Golden Girls, stuff like that, and love on her and give her more reason to stay, less reason to want to go. And then ultimately she came home. Yeah? Yeah. So when I look around and I think, and I see all the people and how crappy the world's gotten because people don't take action, I just think about all the shit I've done in my life, and I'm just like, why are people so fucking lazy, man? Because I would run. I would run to freaking, and I've been doing this shit my whole life, so why can't other people do stuff? They sit on their fucking couch and then they wait for people to come in and fix things, and it's like, us fixers are getting pretty fucking tired. I'm trying to teach people how to fix themselves, man. That's what I'm trying to do. Fix yourself. I'm trying to prove every day that stoners aren't lazy. I hope I'm doing a good job. I hope I'm working at it. So we're going to start feeling the effect. I mean, this land has had every land is tainted with freaking this nasty karma because somebody has to control something. Right?
Yeah.
And it's not just like the damage that we've done to the earth, but every time every time anybody gets raped, whether regardless of the age, the younger the worse, but that taints the land. Whenever somebody gets demonically brutally mutilated, the earth is scarred. So where are all the blessings? Because the way I look at it, wherever a good deed is done, wherever a scoundrel or a scumbag is recognized as a real human being, and whenever they're acknowledged and looked in the eye, that they're a good person and that they are seen, and regardless of the mistakes that they've made in life, they deserve everybody deserves a fluffy pillow or a hard one, depending on what your preference is. So, anyway, karma's coming for all that stuff, for all these dirty deeds that have transpired for all time, that it's gone unpunished. It's gone, and it's these behaviors have only continued to perpetuate. And people that see other people do it, then they're like, well, if they can do it, I can do it too. And the stuff that people are choosing to do over just kindness, goodness, love, generosity, support, guidance, the spirit of mentorship without chasing sensations, you know. A lot more wives deserve freaking back rubs just for a back rub. Husbands too, just back, rubbing, just taking care of people that you care about. People don't have enough stuff to care about. Care about somebody that is outside your little realm, your little box. Find a pet project. You know? What's wrong with that, huh? You know? I remember I was like, that happens. I remember there's a guy, my brother's friend, we both went to high school with him. He was younger than my brother and older than me. And he worked at a gas station, the Chevron in Central Valley, in like 88, 89 time frame. And this old dude that Ed was nice to, he was just nice to him, right? Dude died, left him $2,000. You know, I mean, people can do that stuff. You know, people can give people up to a gift. A monetary gift can be as much as $15,000 without Uncle Sam having to say, hey, what's going on here? Somebody's being a little too generous. We need to fucking stifle this shit. You know it? And I know a lot of people you know what? And I thought I was destitute, but God was degauzing my energetic field so I could start over fresh, right? When I asked, there were 3 people that I asked for $1,000 at one time. When I was waiting for a cashed out 401k, they all had it. And 2 of them probably had it in cash in their pocket. Okay? Now that I think about it. Walking around money. All right? I was waiting for a 401k of mine to be cashed out. It was coming. It left the institution. It was coming to me. I had to pay rent. All 3 of them said no. I said, I'm fucked. It's just me on this planet. I'm fucking screwed. My credit's screwed. All I got is the words out of my mouth and my integrity to get us by. And God. Driving both of those things. And guiding me like a light house. Right? Yeah? I look at God like that. Like he ain't gonna be a boat on that you get to float on, you know? He helps you get through the hard times. Right? I don't know. I ain't never felt like I was carried. I always felt actually like I've had extra density in my energetic field. So in life, I've always felt more like I've been dragged. Honestly speaking. So anyway, I was thinking, and that's another thing I was thinking about today. I wonder who the highest functioning autistic person on the planet is. Wonder who that is. I wonder if it's ever been me. I wonder if I've been the lowest. Huh. You getting hungry, Ma? We're gonna do I'm gonna do it upright because it's like a cozy kind of day. You know, it's overcast. I'm gonna get to bring the plants out here ultimately because I mean the snow is stopped. It's just gonna be messy. But it works so much easier taking the dogs out the back door. Oh, I don't know why see. I will never think I know. I every day I fundamentally understand more. The older you get, the less you know, right? Go out the front door. Carpet, it's a nightmare. You know, go out the back door. I got like all these feet of freaking tile. Because I'm thinking about what a nightmare the winter or when it rains and it's muddy. Trying to keep this, it's going to stress me out. I'm going to be like Hercules because my muscles will be so big from lifting my dumbbell because I'm so stressed out about having to freaking clean the damn carpets all the time when I live next to Tweakersville. It's just really, It's me. It's not them. So go out the back door. There's a ramp for the dogs. And then we walk around just like right there through the carport to where the bourbon and the van are. I'm on the blue van. I'm thinking about putting a white stripe like a van shoe. I gotta find. I wonder. I gotta go to AutoZone or something because I'll do it up nice. My decal skills are on point thanks to the air farce. Yeah. So we had a machine too. Well, I can do it I can do it by hand. I can do cool shit by hand. I just gotta get a nice sharp knife. Give me the tip and I'll draw with that shit. I got a lot of useless skills. Well, they haven't served me yet. I still keep I keep honing them in. That's that. You think that's that smoothest? No. Anyway. I got all these things I want to do because, see, I don't want to end up like one of these people that is like focused on one thing. And then when they stop doing that one thing, they just don't even know what to do with themselves because they don't even know who they are. They're just the output of one thing. You know, like you get these big old machine. I was a general in the United States. I'm responsible for their big old ribbons that they have there. And then they have parades celebrating the people in the ribbons that go to places and kill people and places we have no business being in. And then they call themselves heroes, while the people that are actually killing the people are going, oh my God, what have we done? Please forgive us. It's a terrible, terrible thing. Nobody believes, so they keep it all to themselves. They drink it away. They pill it away. They don't take care of themselves. They just want to forget. People can clean up the wreckage of their past. First thing they got to do, though, and that's where I usually lose people, is they got to stop doing the shit that has got them to the place that they are now. And it takes work. I was thinking about that today because I am seeing more shifts in my body from my dumbbells. And I was thinking about that today. I wonder how many I've done, like, collectively. It started when I moved here a couple years ago. December 10th, 2020 is when we landed in planet Taos. And I kept walking when I take the dogs out under the porch. There's this little dumbbell. I kept walking past it, and finally was like, pick it up, use it. It's right there, you know? So before I knew it, I started finding, okay, I'm doing like sets of like 25, right? You know, and then 50, right? And then, I don't know, then we moved. And so I had to leave it there. So and it was like 17 pounds. And then when we moved here, I went to Big Five. God, they're like $100. Who are $60? I didn't know dumbbells were so freaking expensive, right? But I got a 20-pound. Okay? So I had to start over again because I couldn't go. Because I left off at like doing sets of, like, I think I was doing sets of 100 throughout the day, 50, you know. So I was doing, I had to build up to it, is what my point is. And I've been in the weight scene and nodless and physical exercise my whole life. My dad's physically fit. Mom was a walker. I mean, it's just I came from fire. I'm double fire. I'm a product of Sagittarius and Aries. So I got a lot of juice. I got to find productive ways to use it wisely. So I got my dumbbell. And a recent thing I started doing is I'll dance with it. I'll do I'll do rhythmic motions with my 20-pound dumbbell. And I'm also up to sets of 200 now. I try not to do it like a lot, and I'm not doing them every single time, but I usually like to start the day with knocking them out, and I do them. Sometimes I'll do them slow, and sometimes I'll like time myself to see how, to do it. Well, I haven't actually for the 200. I can do 100 in less than a minute. So I have yet to time myself to do 200. But sometimes I'll do it fast. So it's just like, it's like exercise is like a diet. You can't do the same thing every day and think the results are going to be different. So you got to mix stuff up all the time. And then plus God gives us everything we need. Gardening, that's a great workout. Shoveling snow, that's another good workout, repairing things around you. If you don't have shit that doesn't need to be fixed at your place, there's always a neighbor that needs help freaking, doing something. There's always ways to help people. Just being a kind, attentive ear, just listening to people. Nobody wants to listen to nobody. Everybody wants to be heard. Nobody wants to be listen. Nobody wants to listen. I listen a lot. I think I got a good balance in that. Anyway. Oh, yeah, lift your weights, Jessica, because I was thinking about that, because I've been doing it, 2 years now? A couple years, 2 years. I'm like a little Ben Davidson. I definitely have definition and tone. I still got flab. I was just whenever it's just from when I'm standing, if I don't want to clean something and I feel like production, like, I got energy. What am I going to do with it? A lot of times people feel good. They got energy. They want to feel better. They'll go to something that's going to feel better. Put something in their mouth. Don't do that. That's when you want to train yourself to pick up your weight. Just start with 5. Start with 1. Pick up your weight. Put it down. Right, Ma? Mm-hmm. You do it a little bit at a time. And then ultimately, I don't know. I was looking today. I was like, I'm starting to get those veins that pop out. I'm going to post a picture. when I get more sun on my arms. But I mean, there is definitely results that I'm seeing from and mom comments on it a lot too, because I'll just have my tank top on, and I don't want to be a little Ben. There's Ben who has the opportunity to go to the gym for hours a day because his kids have a nanny. So he can just go off and do all of the things he feels like. Lifting the weights like a little Ben. I was cracking up. What does he do? He observes space. That's his focus, that and himself. All these people are so focused on themselves. And all these people are like, God, is there God, please help me, God. God, please help me get this through this difficult situation. Every time I've done that, God has sent me somebody that has helped me through a difficult situation. Whenever he closes, like at that time, it was at the time that I asked those 3 people for help and they said no, that my earth angels started watching. Right? Mm-hmm. Someone I've never met that lives states away started watching my channel, just lost her husband. Never in her 72 years at the time, I think 73, I think she was 70 whenever she started, because she's older now, but now we're friends. Now she's an intricate part of my world, right? Because we live in comfort because of her. And then my buddy that watches, we both have that obsession, a craving of alcohol, and he don't do that no more, and he hasn't for 5 years, you know? And I didn't for 15 and fell off the 14, jumped off the wagon, burned it down, had to rebuild a new wagon with different structure, different alignment, different handling. You know, with the lessons I learned from throwing 14 years of sobriety, which more people are going to do that right now, and I'm seeing it in the media. I see it on TV and I see it in real life, and it was really oddly synchronistic when I watched an episode of They Call Me Cat, and she and her boyfriend broke up, and he started drinking after being sober for a number of months. And then there was an article after I watched that episode, I think it was this last week's episode, and he was talking about how he had 10 years sober and had recently relapsed. And a lot of people relapse, you know, and now I'm one of them. But I got another. I think I've drank twice in between there. I don't like it. I know what I have a. You get freaking 14 years of freaking active meetings of recovery. It spoils it for you, you know. And then I don't know. It's just not my path. It's just not my way. People are so it unmotivates me. I can't get up and lift weights. I'll just lay around all the time and drink. I'll never lift a weight again. I won't fucking... And then I'll get all puffy, and I don't want to do that no more. I live that way. That's a Groundhog's Day I don't want to do no more. At least things are different now. Anyway. Well, because of the Earth Angel, my buddy that, you know, he contributes to me and Mom's comfort and is thoughtful on important days, you know. People I've never met have taken better care of people that, you know, have known me my whole life, that have said that, you know, you ain't never been much of a liar, and to see, just because I understand that I'm supposed to learn life lessons, it doesn't make it hurt less. When your brother, who could help you, says, I'm gonna help you by not helping you. And I was like, my credit's fucked. Oregon's on fire. We gotta move. I have $5,000 in the bank. Because I said, can you please help me find a place for me and Mom? And he said, nope. Nope. Just based on the fact that he's in the military. Dude is a lawyer. He's a JAG. Got freaking put on his promotion in Iraq, got his his bonus for reenlistment tax-free because that's how they do it. He said, when we were kids, you said you'd take care of Mom. I said the deal was Dad. Dad just wants to live by himself till he's dead, so. Anyway. So he said, she's your problem. You take care of it. And then at one point, he recommended I put her in a home, that things are going to get real hard in life. That I put her in a home and get rid of 2 of my dogs, go back to work. And that's what people do. That's how people live their lives. They just throw people away. I've been thrown away my whole life, man. People have been... Do I look like trash? Do I look like garbage? Because you'd think that I was trash and I was garbage the way people look at me. Until I was made to understand that people don't understand things. They hate things that they don't understand. And they like things that are like them. And there's very few people that are like me. I'm very unliked. As likable as I am very, 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 very unliked. It's weird how people receive me. I've been kicked in the face and knocked down a flight of stairs by a dude in Redden. I'd like to see him again right now. If he's still alive. You know, that's the thing. You know. I feel like I win sometimes, though. Because I'm 49. I got Mom's pretty smile. You know. I was looking at my hair last night. It's getting so long because it's up all the time. So I don't ever see how long it's getting. So it's getting long. I got a couple gifts God gave me, huh, Mom?
Yes, you have many.
What's your favorite one, Mom? What's your favorite one, Mom?
Favorite one for...
My smile?
Yes, it's
Or
mine.
your smile on my face?
Your smile.
It's your smile on my
On
face.
your face, yeah.
I tried to join a group called... Check this out. Maybe somebody else can try. Because I try to make connections in life, and I just, so often I'm just not allowed to go through. I think I'm just going to keep going long, because I got one more thing to talk about.
Okay. Goodness. Getting some water.
Hi, baby girl. You coming out? You going to hit that hydration station?
Yeah, she needed some water. Good girl.
Taos Memories and Photos. I tried to join a group called Taos Memories and Photos. So maybe if other people try to join this group, maybe you will get something out of it. Because I was declined. And they asked 3 questions. They asked, why do you want to be a part of this group? I said, because my mom was born around here, and and I said she was born with 2 club feet, and I would like to know her story. And I got declined. And I want to know fucking why. See? It's that shit. People want me to be all open and receptive all the time. I'm like, from where I began, from where I started in life on this planet, how I started seeing the sludge and the swill and the shadow seedy side of shit that this planet has to offer, all the while all these people are like, love and light, everything's great, la la la, la la la, without even acknowledging the existence of things that have happened to people like me. It's amazing I can still smile. Just based on stress, I should have my teeth. But I guess I've been doing something right, because my teeth aren't rotted out of my head. I'm not all freaking, I'm so sad I'm going to eat this fried chicken and sit my ass on this and watch this and blah, blah, blah. I don't do none of that shit. I'm trying to encourage people to freaking get up and do things for yourself, because nobody's going to do nothing for you. Then I'm going to end up on this, because I'm just running my mouth. Blah, 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 blah. People are supposed to start learning more about universal law. A lot of people are spiritual laws, whichever you want to call it. Spiritual laws, universal laws of the universe. You could look them up yourself, depending. See, that's the thing is, if somebody looks at somebody watching my video, your phone, your algorithm, it ain't gonna be the same as mine. Okay, I got a broader spectrum. Even my like tech background, like how many people I've had access to in my life, or been a part of a pool that has limited access, is pretty vast. Like in history. I wonder how many people, I mean, it's probably in the hundreds of thousands, maybe but it's still in compared to like the number of people on the planet, like people that have had top secret clearances from the government. You know? I mean, like I said, granted the number is high, it's still compared to the population, it's not. So, here's just, and people can go look them up themselves, you know. I'm just going to read I'm going to read all 12, but they go in, this guy goes into it, this Ramakati Mandla. He's a group finance controller. This was published on October 19th. This is in LinkedIn. October 8th, 2019. That was during the Oregon years. So, number one, the law of divine oneness. The law of divine oneness is the foundational law according to which absolutely everything in our universe is interconnected. In other words, every choice, every desire, and belief you have will also have an impact on the world and on the people in your life. So for every time people freaking hinder instead of help, every time it's just not somebody hindering, doing that hindrance, it's like a ripple. And so all these other people are like, ooh, I'm picking up on that. I'm going to hinder too. You know, you got to put out more helping vibes. Then more the like attract likes, the helpers start freaking getting activated, right? I'm trying to teach people how good you can treat people that can never ever do nothing for you, you know? That can never ever give you an orgasm or never, you know, benefit you without, you know, just trying to be good to people for the sake of being good to people, regardless of how they look, you know? It's getting fewer and far between, I think. It's just people are so fearful. They're just so closed off. It's just so gross. 2, law of vibration. According to the law of vibration, every particle in the universe is a constant movement and constantly carries energy. This applies to enormous parts of the universe, like the planets and the stars. Your stuff, you know, like the solar eclipse, or is it the lunar eclipse this time? I can't remember. I get them all mixed up. It's hard to keep track. I keep track of a lot of stuff. It's coming up May 5th. 6 days, 5 days, and it's in Scorpio. So, yeah, same thing goes. In addition, everything has its own specific energy frequency. High energy particles are naturally attuned to other high energy particles. So you see and all the same is true for those that have low energy. So I see all these practitioners, you know, all these people that proclaim to be a high spiritual being, because I believe I'm a high spiritual being. You know that? Or highly spiritually, vibrationally, frequentially. I got an electromagnetic personality. Right? That's how I feel about things. I've attracted a lot of people. I have repelled more because like attracts like, right? So when I reach out to these people that proclaim to be these high vibrational, and they don't even come to my channel to even, cause I see things in them that I think are admirable traits, right? So you think that they would see admirable traits in me. No, because they're for. What are they doing with their abundance? They play too much. When people are playing too much, and you're not giving none of that away, all that stuff you get from playing that much. Oh, you might karma. Hey, people can have really stellar lives in one life, and then the next life they're very, very challenging. We're just it's whatever. It's whatever. It may be all great and love and light in this one. It's gonna frickin' come back one day. So number 3, the law of correspondence. The law of correspondence is directly related to the foundational law of divine oneness. The key idea here is that the patterns repeat throughout the universe, and that prominent patterns can also be found repeating on the very small scale. How many times do people go back to that ex right before the holidays? Or right when spring breaks, or that time of year. I did it for 8 years with this chick. People thought like I was a retard. Like we went out of town 3 times. I got dumped 3 times. Like I couldn't like I don't even know how many times, but we wouldn't even talk for like a year and a half in between. But we had this chemistry. See, because she was Taurus and I'm an Aries, so I was fucking myself basically. That's how I look at it when I date. If I date somebody that's in close proximity to me, or God forbid, even an Aries, I'm fucking myself. I mean, which that's a storyline of and by itself. It's just, I mean, I'm more. I think I like girls, women that are not like me. I'm too much of me. It's not a good thing. Other people distract me. Don't want to think about me. Want to know about other people. So, not my bag. Not to say I would never do it, because I have said I'd never do it for, but I'm not going to say that no more, because that always bites me in the ass. So, for example, think of a popular example of a spiral pattern that appears in a huge number of places in the galaxy. Look for patterns in your own life and in your thinking, and notice how they repeat elsewhere in the world. As you do, consider the kinds of pattern changes you might be able to make and how those changes will create on a large scale. That makes me think of it's gonna be my longest talk ever. I don't even have my light on. Makes me think of when I went through a smoking cessation class. When I wanted to quit smoking, the place I worked at said, "Hey, you quit smoking, here's $200 in your next paycheck." So I was like, all right, I haven't enjoyed smoking in 2 years, so I'll go ahead and give it a go. And one of the things they said is you gotta because find out, okay, my pattern was easy to see. I smoke every time I got in my car. I lived in Omaha, Nebraska. It was too hot and sticky to smoke outside in the summer. It was too cold for like 7 months out of the year to smoke outside. So I'd smoke in my car, right? So that just lingers, that smell. Ugh. Anyway. And so they recommend, like, if you do that, like so many people like me did, when you get in your car, don't put your cigarette, get used to not smoking when you get in your car. So put your cigarette pack someplace else, right? Good place would be to like put it someplace inconvenient, like in the trunk, right? If you have a trunk, like, oh, you want a cigarette? All right, get them out of the trunk. Something to inconvenience yourself to break that cycle, your muscle memory. So, law of attraction. As you likely already know, the law of attraction tells us that like attracts like. So in order to have the things you desire in life, you have to work out how to vibrate on the same frequency as these things. The more general lessons here is that being positive, proactive, and loving attracts more of the same into your life. Meanwhile, permissive fear and lethargy will lead you to generate more negative experiences and aspects in life. By working to live more positively, even just today, you're already using the law of attraction to create better existence for yourself. That ain't been easy for me because my life has been full of really shitty circumstances. Like, sucky shit. Potentially facing homelessness with your 72-year-old mom has had a traumatic head injury with your 4 old dogs and your cat. is very stressful. It has been very hard for me to omit that stress of not being scared. Don't be scared, Marge. Everything will work out. God's going to take care of us. Don't be scared. Oh, it's a scary situation though, Marge. Yeah, it is though, but it's okay because it'll be okay, Marge. You know, no, it's so scary though. Oh, why did, anyway, so keep going, Marge. What am I up to at over an hour? Okay. Law of perpetual transmutation of energy. I was just talking about that. See how that works? I've been trying to freaking. This is what this has been hard to do, but I think I've been pretty successful the last couple of years because I didn't get blobby. I didn't get fluffy. I got fit. Law of perpetual transmutation of energy states that everything around us is in a constant flux. You can't see all of these changes because many of this exists at the cellular or atomic level, but they carry on regardless. The reason that it is so important to be aware of this law is that it helps you see how you can trigger positive changes. Specifically, keep in mind that high vibrational vibrations can trigger improvements in low vibrations. For example, if you're vibrating at a low frequency, exposing yourself to the high frequency of a happy, encouraging friend will naturally trigger an energy transmutation in you. Unless you got resentments and your field ain't clear, and then you're just going to be mad at them for being happy. I know that's a thing. I've been that person. Don't even go around people, Marge. I can't even be happy for people that are happy right now. I just can't. Recognizing our own toxicity is a favor we can do for humanity. People don't do it. People want other people to soothe them. They don't want to soothe themselves. It's ridiculous. The law of cause and effect, one of the most straightforward laws of the universe. The law of cause and effect tells us that the actions have a corresponding reaction. You will have already known this, of course, when it comes to physical aspects of the world. However, perhaps you haven't considered how this law might be applied to the spiritual aspects of our universe. Your spiritual life can impact the world around you, causing positive or negative reactions. Similarly, your physical environment can impact on your spirituality, whether for good or for ill. Ask yourself what types of relationships you see between the spiritual and the physical, and how you might want to change them. Number 8, the law of compensation. According to the law of compensation, you will receive what you put out. This is similar to the law of attraction, but with the focus on the idea that compensation can come in many forms. For example, if you win a large amount of money, then you might think you're getting a reward. However, depending on how you have lived, your vast amount of wealth could lead to a worse life rather than a better one. Essentially, you reap what you sow. This law reminds you to be careful how you treat others and indeed the planet. Law of relativity. The law of relativity is about the neutrality of things when seen in isolation. No particular person, experience, emotion, or action is elevated as good or bad until you look at comparison with something else. For example, you may think you are poor, but perhaps because you have 3 wealthy uncles, but that's because... For example, you may think you are poor, but perhaps that's because you have 3 wealthy uncles. By keeping this law in mind, you remain conscious of the fact that there are always multiple perspectives on anything that happens to you. Trying to slip into these alternate perspectives can make you more grateful and can also show you where you can make improvements in life. I feel like that example was like based on him personal, and it don't... Okay, why would you just... whatever. Law of polarity. When thinking about the law of polarity, the most important thing to remember is that absolutely everything has an opposite, and that's the very existence of these opposites, and that allow us to understand your life. Consequently, when you go through something difficult, it will be this thing that helps you truly appreciate the good developments to come. By regularly reminding yourself of this, you can improve your resilience in troubled times. For example, through a bad breakup is painful, Though a bad breakup is painful, it teaches you what doesn't work for you in a relationship, helping you to eventually find what does. People don't do that. They just go out and want to act the same way with the next person. They're just looking for the person, to fit their personality. They're not willing to adapt to the person, right? Maybe it's because I was over malleable. I had to be a chameleon to get along with people, to be accepted by people. Because it just, it's always just such a little weirdo, right? I always thought about that, when, people, with people that have, okay, I'm going to talk about sex for a second. I haven't had a lot of sexual partners for being almost 50. Let's see. 5, maybe. Maybe 6. That's not a lot in today's world. Unless there's a lot more people at 0. I don't know. Anyway, but I've never done the same things sexually with the same people because I'm not having sex with the same people. Does that make sense? And so many people, they just do the same thing regardless of who they're with. It's trippy to me. Because I've heard stories. So anyway, that doesn't really have anything to do with that. It's just a little fun, little fiction and fact from Marge's Almanac. All right, that comes from Nicole Brown. Her dad always said that when I was in high school. Law of rhythm, sometimes called the law. Okay. Did I already read that one? Nope, I didn't. Law of rhythm, sometimes called the law of perpetual motion. The law of rhythm is unsurprisingly focused on movement. In particular, it refers to the fact that all things come in cycles. Did I? Nope, I didn't. You can see this in nature, in the process seasons, and in the body's aging process. I see it every year. I see it all the time. I see so much stuff. My God, you think I'd sleep better with all the shit I see. However, I do sleep good sometimes, just not for long periods of times like I wish. However, it equally applies to a person's life stages, and reflecting on it helps you to gain perspective. Today's season may not be good, but nothing is permanent, so enjoy what you have while it lasts. Alternatively, perhaps you are in a negative part of the cycle right now, but it may be the very thing that prepares you for the prosperous change in cycles next month. So, yeah, and I knew that, because people have always said I was fat, because muscle weighs more than fat. So I stand on a scale, being 5 foot and weighing 100 pounds. People are like, you're fat. But I was always really solid, right? There was times that I was fat, but I was also starting my period when I was 9. My hormones were everywhere. I mean, they fucked with my nature by kickstarting all my parts and stuff as a baby. People don't know how that fucks with you, man. I didn't want to be this little masculine female chick that freaking went around, with little Napoleon complex, this little tough guy in a girl's body. I didn't want forever warding off the freaking harms of the world because I know what the grossness it is. Who wants this assignment? Seriously. But all the compassionate people of the earth are just, lining up at the front door to show me their love and light and their compassion, right? Fucking not. Law of gender. Finally, the law of gender has very little to do with biological sex. Rather, it refers to the fact that there are 2 major types of energy. You can think of them as masculine and feminine, as yin and yang, or as anima and animus. We all contain a certain amount of both energies and must find a way to achieve a balance between both types. if we are to live authentically and happy, think about the role type each type of energy appears to play in your life, and whether there is an excess or a deficit in either. When I do not allow my feminine energy to run the show, my life blows up. When my masculine energy runs the show, my life blows up. I don't want to do that no more. I don't want to live that way no more. So that is why it is so important to me to keep doing my talks, do my daily disciplines, spend more time on meditation. I haven't been doing it as much. I haven't been getting as good as night's sleeps lately, so it's there's so I gotta get back to that. But when I meditate, it don't take me nothing. I'll go lay down right after I'm gonna make Mom. We're gonna do French toast sticks.
Okay.
And then for dipping sauce, we got, it's always about the sauce. We got blueberry syrup. I can sprinkle with a little powdered sugar.
Uh-huh.
We got maple syrup and strawberry syrup.
That's a good combination.
All right. I think that's about all I got for now. If anybody's still around, thanks for hanging out. If anybody listened this whole time, what a blessing that is. Mom listened the whole time, huh?
Yeah.
Already did too. That's about all I got for now.